Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Going to do a scent safari episode for you guys today. And today we're taking a look at the Spanish house that is Ricardo Ramos. Now, I got to be honest with you. I don't know how I found out about this brand, but I had a note to reach out to them and contact them for a scent safari. And I did. And I believe the owner, Ricardo Ramos, was away at the time, and he got back to me, and he said he would send me some samples, and then he was kind of like, wow, I don't even know why we're doing that. Usually we only do magazine samples, so I guess I'm one of the lucky people to get some samples who's not an official press member. I got 3 samples from the brand. They came in this really cool sort of pouch, which is neat. I don't know if that's like standard, the way they give samples, or I just got lucky with that pouch, but really cool. And before we get into the 3 fragrances they sent me, let me give you a note from the brand about the brand. So Ricardo Ramos Perfumes is a Granada-based fragrance line, which is making use of classic fragrance ingredients from the ancient kingdom of Al-Andalus to recreate a fused olfactory universe that blends Middle East and Mediterranean tradition, with an aim to bring perfume enthusiasts closer to the cultural legacy of the Al-Andalus kingdom, where European perfumery started in the Middle Ages. The perfumery creations of this line have been dedicated to character, places, or traditions directly linked to Al-Andalus by means of conscientious art direction, with the olfactory concept of each fragrance closely related to its name. Ricardo Ramos is a Spaniard-Colombian fashion designer, internationally awarded. He made his debut in the Young Creators Runway at Parcel Gaudi in Barcelona and has been a regular participant in fashion weeks. Professionally trained, shuttling between Paris and London, he's been closely related to the fragrance world for more than 15 years thanks to various projects carried out with his contacts in the sector. He has collaborations with Lancaster Monaco Cosmetics House, Quest International Fragrance, where he made his first contacts within the industry, MG International in Istanbul, Turkey, with whom he has a close relationship. And besides being a fashion designer, Ramos is an enthusiast of historical textile conversation and a passionate banknote collector. These have been co-created by Colombian-British perfumer Jorge Lee on the formulation side and designer Ricardo Ramos on the evaluation and art direction. So there's about 16 fragrances in the collection, and there's 2 noses that have worked on the collection. Mostly it's been Jorge Lee, who's also a big nose for Nishane, which is a wonderful Turkish perfume house that I did a scent safari for, and Tuma and Abba, who did Moth and Nightingale for zoologists. Now, the fragrances that, the 3 I'm talking about now, some of them are available on Twisted Lily. I believe 2 of them are, and 1 isn't, but you can get many of the fragrances on Twisted Lily that Ricardo Ramos sells. So let's just get right into it. The first fragrance is called Alabi, and 2017 release with ozonic notes: grapefruit, galbanum, linden blossom, hyacinth, narcissus, Haitian vetiver, oak moss, atlas, cedar, and ambergris. And man, so these are really natural, sort of full fragrances with a lot of body. These are not synthetic fragrances. If you like stuff like Dior Sauvage and the Eccentric Molecules line, and this is very different. These are very high quality, well-made fragrances. And I thought I wouldn't like this one because I saw linden blossom and hyacinth and narcissus and thought, wow, this is probably going to be really floral. But not really. I mean, there's definitely the florals here, but they support the ozonic notes and the galbanum and the grapefruit. And what this is to me is a very alive sort of springtime green fragrance. You know, it kind of smells like being outdoors or in the forest. You know, you have this resinous galbanum that's sort of very green. It's almost to me an animalic plant-like material. You have the freshness of the linden blossom, these very sort of clean, airy, sparkly ozonic notes. And it's just a nice outdoorsy fragrance with some body and dense character to it. So it's really nice. I would wear this. I think it's totally unisex. Really good job on this one. The next one is called News Can US. This was a 2018 release, and this is available at Twisted Lily. Again, Jorge Lee is the nose on this, and you've $170 for 100 ml. Notes are ginger, cinnamon, tulip, nutmeg, clove, pepper, star anise, cardamom, cedar, coffee, and patchouli. Now, to me, This is more of a big, spicy sort of fragrance. Reminds me of something that Maître Parfumé Gantier might have done, or sort of early L'Artisan Parfumé. It's this sort of big, spicy fragrance. You're going to get that ginger, that cinnamon, that star anise, the cardamom, the coffee comes through in this one. You know, it kind of has an old school vibe to it. There's tulip in this one, not carnation. I know carnation has that sort of connotation of an old school vibe, but this is, like, to me, like a sort of classic spicy masculine fragrance in the big style of like the late 80s, early 90s. But it doesn't smell dated. And I think what's good here is you can just smell the quality of the materials. There doesn't seem to be a lot of synthetics in this or in these at all. This is really well done. It's well blended. Nothing dominates, but you do have a big coffee note in this one. This one sort of smells like a pot of black coffee with a lot of spices around. And it's really good, really wearable. I think a man could wear this and dressed up, and it gives him some character. It's very different than what's available now and what's popular now. And then the last one we're going to talk about is called Zeryab. 2016 release, again, Jorge Lee, also available at Twisted Lily. A little more expensive, $220 for 100 ml. This one, you've got mandarin, petite grain, mace, cinnamon, jasmine, patchouli, clove, nutmeg, oak moss, amberwood, cypress, and ambergris. And yeah, this one, okay, so this one to me is sort of like a classic citrusy aromatic scent with a lot more going on. Right at the top, I feel like you get this big whack of mandarin and petite grain. So it's almost green at the top. You know, it's sort of got that Xerjoff Neo, Imaginary Authors Mosaic thing at the very, very top. But then you have this heart of spices again. So you've got the mace here, you've got the cinnamon, you've got the cloves, you've got the nutmeg. And then you have a very woody, dense base, you know, with cypress and oak moss and amberwood, ambergris. And this is my favorite of the three. If I'm ranking these in order, this is my favorite. Then I like Yabi, and then I like Noose. Just because Noose, like, to me, is something that, you know, a little bit, it's not something that I would necessarily gravitate to, because it does smell like something a little bit older. All of these sort of have a classic appeal, right? Like, these aren't trendy fragrances; they're well made. But Alabi I really like because it has, or Alabi, because it is this green sort of natural freshness, while still maintaining like some very packed fragrance. It's not watery. It's not like a Jean-Claude Ellena fragrance. And Zeryab to me is just a very complete fragrance that I really like. It's got this wonderful citrus at the top and this beautiful heart of spices and florals without being feminine, right? There's jasmine in here. And the base is just really full and rich, you know, with the oak moss and the amber and the cypress and ambergris. This is a great, great fragrance. This is one I could really see the fragrance community embracing if they got their nose on it. So guys, I'm going to highly recommend you check Ricardo Ramos out, because these are fantastic fragrances. There's no bullshit here. These are not synthetic fragrances. When you spend your $170, $200, you're going to know that money's going into good natural materials and just fragrances that are really well done. And I totally get the style sort of. I think the Nichain fragrances are more synthetic than these, but Nichain makes some great fragrances. These are, to me, smell way more natural. But I think what I'm starting to see with Jorge is just a really fine hand in terms of balancing different notes and not letting anything speak too loud, sort of letting every material, every note, every accord have a voice at different points with none screaming. So really great job. I'm very happy to have checked these out. I'm going to link to Ricardo Ramos in the description, and maybe you'll see a bottle of these one day in my collection, because I'm enjoying these and I need to get to know them further. So that's it, guys. Thank you to Ricardo Ramos for letting me check these out. I'm going to link to his webpage in the description. And remember, you can get these in the United States at Twisted Lily. I'll see you guys again real soon with another video. You already know what it is, guys. My name is Maximilian, and I must go. Peace.